Lawin Media Network.
Bringing to you the most relevant content across all platforms.
Business, legal, politics, health, lifestyle, and entertainment.
Your source for all the news and updates in the greater Houston community from Texas and all over the world.
Get informed and empowered with Lawin Media Network.
Welcome to Season 2 of the Pink Table Talk by Dr. Carly D. Tune in and let's think pink on Wednesday. Come join as we are creating community through conversation. This is our voice. We're diving deep into powerful conversations that inspire, uplift, and empower. Season 2 of Pink Table Talk with Dr. Carly D. Every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Time.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Pink Table Talk. I'm your host, Dr. Carly D. I'm a doctorally prepared nurse, educator, mentor, and a domestic violence survivor and advocate. I am so happy to be here with you all tonight. Thank you all for those of you who are watching us live, either through Lawin Media Network YouTube channel or through our Facebook Live page. So tonight we have another wonderful and fantastic episode that we are bringing to you. We are continuing our special on health and beauty. This way you guys can get ready for 2025, bringing in the new year, looking fabulous and healthy. So we have another fantastic and intelligent guest speaker tonight joining us. We have Paulette Senegal. She is a nurse practitioner, and she also has her own IV hydration hormone replacement therapy business called True Lux Spa. Paulette received her bachelor's from Prairie View A&M University and her master's with Walden University. After spending many years working in the hospital, Paulette developed a newfound desire not just to treat people who are sick, but to also provide an opportunity to keep people healthy in the first place. With so much optimism and challenging goal in mind, Paulette founded True Lux Med Spa and Wellness LLC, which has provided her the platform to follow her passion for creating and maintaining a healthy you. So as a lifelong learner, Paulette is also now currently pursuing her doctoral degree at the University of the Incarnate Word. So she's bringing great health and beauty to people in the community here in Houston, and we're so proud and happy to have her on the show. Please welcome Paulette Senegal to the show.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm so happy to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, so we've been talking for a while now because I've just been so interested in everything that you're doing. I think what you're doing is just so smart and it's so business savvy, especially for this current day and age. As an advanced practice nurse, we're given so much more opportunities now to truly create health in our communities and to empower people in the communities. So I think what you're doing is just absolutely wonderful. Yes. So for our audience members at home watching, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started?
Absolutely. Well, my name is Paulette Senegal. I started my pre-nursing profession as a bedside nurse for many, many years. I did receive my bachelor's degree from Prairie View A&M University. I knew I always wanted to become a nurse practitioner. And initially, I thought I wanted to do primary care only. I thought that was the only way. However, things along the road definitely piqued my interest at wellness. And in our being bachelor's prepared, we didn't learn enough to me, in my perspective, about wellness. We learned a lot about disease management and, what diet you should eat after the fact. So I definitely wanted to learn more about what to do prior to and preventing those things. So, I pursued my FNP pathway through Walden University, which I had an amazing experience there. And then I went directly into wellness. So I've enjoyed my experience.
That's wonderful. And you made some really great points. And I love the fact that you talked about emphasizing on wellness, and not just disease management. And I too, after going through my education, I also noticed that as well. And I felt like, being bedside, yeah, that's all we were doing was symptom management,
Absolutely.
disease management. Yeah. And it was already too late, at that point.
Mhm.
Most of the patients we were treating, they were already well into their illnesses and their disease
Mhm.
process. So I too also started getting and developing a passion for wellness, and looking at nutrition specifically.
Absolutely.
So can you tell us more about that and how you promote wellness?
Absolutely. So here we promote wellness because I see so many women that come into my practice that they've seen their therapist, they've seen their
Yeah.
psychiatrist, they've seen their PCP several times. They've gone to their, and specifically women, they've seen
Yeah.
their gynecologist, and they're 5 to 10 years into no one's listening. I have all of
Yes.
these symptoms. I feel this way. What's wrong with me? And so just being able to have the opportunity to speak to these women because I have experienced the same things right in my early 30s. I've experienced fatigue,
Yes.
mental fogginess, like not just having interest in things. And because I have a family history of depression, I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'm clinically depressed, but I learned that
Yeah.
my hormones were not balanced at 32
Mm.
years old.
Wow.
So when
Wow.
I talk to the women, I'm able to share my personal experience with them. I'm able to provide a listening ear. And I've had several women just burst into tears because it's like, you hear me. And so that alone has made me so passionate about the work that I do here.
Yes. Wow. That's so amazing, And what you bring up is a really important topic, that not a lot of people talk about. When we think of mental health, a lot of times we like to just throw medications on it, but we don't look at, what else could be causing it, such as like the hormones, especially hormone imbalances. So I think
Mhm.
that's really smart, that you started to look into that, especially seasonally, because you do notice certain times a year we all start to feel a little, we get the seasonal blues. So I think that has something to do with the sunlight and like vitamin D and things like that too.
And you said vitamin D, if you have low vitamin D levels, that mimics
Yes.
depression. So just making sure that you're aware of what your blood work looks like, what you need. It may not be clinical depression. So I just wish that there was more education around normalizing, women getting their labs completed at 30 years old to find out what my hormones look like.
Yes. Wow. And so for your patients, when they come to you, what can they expect?
So they can expect a full experience with us, right? We're going to learn about your past medical history, your paternal and maternal past history. We go through everything, current medications, we go through allergies, we go through even like what you're going through in your current life, because just having that discussion can let us know of other things that may potentially be going on. And then from that point, we do labs. And then after that, we have a face-to-face discussion about everything that's going on with your lab work. And once we do that, we can definitely recommend different supplements. We can definitely recommend if you are a potential or a good candidate for hormone replacement therapy, all and even thyroid optimization. So
Oh,
there's that
wow.
as well. So we even look at thyroid function just to determine if your weight loss, if you're not able to lose weight, if that's related to your thyroid function. So there's so many different things that we can discuss during your consultation.
Wow, that's awesome. So you guys give a holistic approach and look at the whole patient.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Oh, that's wonderful. Can you talk to us more about thyroid optimization? Because I've been hearing a lot about that. And I know that's why a lot of women feel fatigue and like sluggish and the skin might be dry. Can you talk to us more about that?
Absolutely. So thyroid optimization, and if you go to your annual visit, most of the time you will have a TSH level, and that's
Yes.
great. But here we look at more than just your TSH level. If your numbers are they look normal on your lab work, there still could be indication on all the panels that we run that that your thyroid function isn't optimal. And so we look at many different numbers to determine if your thyroid function isn't optimal, and things that you can see if your thyroid is hypofunctioning, right? It's not functioning as we would like. You see weight gain. You see that you
Mm,
may not, be able to, or intolerance to heat and or cold. Um,
yes.
Skin changes, hair shedding. There are many different things that can be, clinical indicators that your thyroid function isn't where we need it to be. So we
Wow.
definitely do a more extensive panel to determine if your thyroid is doing what it should be.
Wow. That's awesome. That's really amazing. And what are some of the results that you have seen in your patients once you have optimized their thyroid health?
Oh, wow. So they have more energy. They're able
Nice.
to get rid of that extra 5 to 10 pounds, even without changing their exercise or diet. They have a more regular bowel pattern, because some of those women who have a hypoactive thyroid, you do see patients who experience constipation. So those are just
Wow.
a few things that you notice, and just in talking to a patient and just finding out so many things about them, you can determine if that may be one of the things we need to focus on.
Wow, I never knew that. Wow, that's
Yes,
awesome. Yeah,
yes.
that's really great. And would you recommend this for someone in their 20s, or should it just be women over 30 that get this extensive lab work done?
So annually, I would recommend women in their, I would say mid to late 20s. You should do it annually. Once
Okay.
you, once you turn 30, also
Hmm.
annually as well. But what I notice even with myself, because I try to track and trend my labs, I have my labs done about 3 to 4 times a year,
Oh,
and
wow.
yes, and so I'm old school. So I'll print them out, I'll write notes, and like I was feeling, this way when my labs were like this. I was feeling that way when my thyroid function was managed or my hormones were balanced. So for me, I definitely do it 3 to 4 times a year. However, I recommend starting mid to late 20s annually to at least get an idea of where you are with your lab work.
Wow, that's great. That's really awesome. And it's very good advice for our audience members. And once you start to optimize the thyroid health, how soon are people seeing results from that and benefiting from it?
I would say around the 3 week mark. It does take a little
Ooh.
time and yeah, it does take a little time and persistence with, staying on target. So you start to see a little bit of a benefit around the 3 week mark, but I would say around the 3 month mark, you should definitely see benefits to, maintaining that medication regimen. So yeah, about 3 months.
Wow, that's really great. That's awesome. And you guys offer the hormone replacement therapy and different customized treatment plan for your patients at your med school.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
that's
We do offer
wonderful.
that option for the patients here.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really great. This is so interesting. I'm loving learning about this because I've been interested in this area of health and wellness for such a long time. And I know that the celebrities, they're also using it too. And that's why you're starting to see people really like their skin glowing, their hair growing. I know that they're definitely utilizing these holistic benefits and following these holistic trends. So we're
Absolutely.
going to yeah, thank you. We're going to go for our first break of the evening. So everybody stay tuned for more Pink Table Talk with Paulette Senegal.
Attention, food lovers. Get ready for a brand new culinary adventure with the Commissary Kitchen.
Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Time or 9 a.m. in the Philippines for a live show that brings the best of the kitchen straight to your screen.
Presented by Lawin live stream and podcast and produced by Lawin Media Network, we'll explore delicious recipes, share expert cooking tips, and bring you closer to the world of gourmet cuisine.
The Commissary Kitchen, where every meal is an experience.
Welcome back to Pink Table Talk. We have some comments from our audience members. Our audience member said that she is so interested in beauty and wellness. She is looking forward to this episode. We also have another comment. She wrote, in the Philippines, a lot of people sell gummies that contain glutathione, vitamins, etc. And so she wants to know, does that really help? So I'll leave that question for Paulette when she gets back. And then she also mentioned that they sell gummies for hormonal imbalance in the Philippines. Yeah, so that's a very good question. And we will ask Paulette when she gets back. Hey, Paulette. So we have an audience member who has a question about gummies that contain glutathione, vitamins, and etc. She wants to know, does that really help with hormonal imbalance?
So glutathione, I would say it's like one of the basic building blocks for your immune system. It also helps with cellular repair. There are some patients that also use it for beauty reasons, so like skin brightening and things of that sort. I would just always double check with who you're purchasing the items from, and just to make sure that they have really good reviews, and also to determine if they are FDA certified or cleared. That's even better.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, great advice. And you said glutathione so good. I can't even pronounce it right. I cannot.
We also provide that because they provide that orally. There are also injections. So there's many different ways that you can take that supplement.
Can you tell us more about what it is? What is glutathione?
So yeah, glutathione, like I said, it helps with immunity. It's one of, again, the basic building blocks of your immune system. So during this season, I do prepare, and I also provide a lot of those different drips that has glutathione. It helps with cell regeneration. So it helps like to clean out the cells. It's also like a liver detox. There's so many different benefits. And it's one of my favorite add-ons for our IV hydration.
Very nice, very nice. And like she said, make sure that it's FDA approved and from a reputable source.
Reputable, yes, because a lot of supplements, they are not regulated. There are a lot of different companies that provide different vitamins or supplements, and they don't even have to go through a certification process. So we use a lot of products. One of my favorite staples that we use here in the clinic is through pure encapsulation. They have many different options available for patients, and it's a really good source of supplements.
Wow, that's awesome. She had a follow-up question. She said some people say they don't recommend the glutathione since it can be harmful to kidneys. And she wanted to know, has research proven that is true?
From my perspective, research hasn't proved that that's true. However, we have to monitor the amount that we're, intaking. If you are possibly a patient that has like renal failure or renal disease, I would want to follow up with a provider before I start to take that type of supplement.
Yes. Yeah. Very good. Very good question and very good advice. Thank you, Paulette, for answering that. Yeah, I remember learning years ago too, like even with vitamins, you can take too much, it's just because of the way our body kind of metabolizes and breaks down supplements. So, anything in large quantities can be harmful to the body, including, vitamins and supplements.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, should always be careful on how much they're ingesting and taking. And like you said, it depends, if they have any kidney issues, liver issues, that's also going to affect how our body metabolizes and processes supplements. Yeah. So always be careful. Yeah. So for starting a med spa, as an advanced practice nurse here in Texas, what was that process like, and was it hard to get started?
So that process, it was a difficult process. However, if that's something that's your end goal, that's something that you definitely lived for, it's definitely worth all of the work behind that. You have to have a medical director in the state of Texas as of now, a medical director or a supervising physician. And so I have a supervising physician that works with me at the med spa, and we work together under the Texas guidelines, right, of being monitored as an advanced nurse practitioner. So I definitely, that was the first thing that I want. I did networking. I talked around. I was able to find a physician. Once I found a physician, we met several times to determine, what my timeline was, what my goal was. Also, what type of services I would be providing, because you want to be clear with that prior to starting, a practice with your supervising physician, because you want to make sure that they're comfortable as well with those services. So once I did that, I, built out what my services would look like. I worked with someone for my website.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different things involved in that, and I had to obtain a DEA license because um, I do provide hormone replacement therapy, and that is considered a
Hmm.
controlled substance. And we
Hmm.
do pellets here, so you also have to
Hmm.
get your DEA license as well.
Wow. Yeah, so it's a lot of work to get started in this industry. But I think what you're offering for everyone is definitely worth it for the community. Um, Walk us through what a patient would experience when they walk through your doors.
So definitely warm smiles.
I
We
love that.
definitely, yes, we definitely greet each patient because we do recognize that you have the choice to go anywhere in Houston or Spring, Texas. We greet you. You come in. You complete your initial new patient paperwork. And then after that, we get started. So if you're coming in for IV hydration, we do, a brief physical assessment. We do vitals. We just make sure that everything is in line in line before we start the IV hydration. If you're coming in for a consultation, we get started with the discussion of, your past medical history. Then we do your lab work if that's applicable to your visit at that time. If we're doing Botox, you complete your consents and we start the consultation. So I would definitely say it's an amazing experience, and it's something that we worked on over the past almost 4 years now, and we're
Wow.
still growing. And we also take into consideration like how each visit went, and we determine how can we grow from that. How can we make sure that each patient that comes in the door feels welcome.
Wow, that's wonderful. And what a beautiful website. And look at your nice picture there.
Thank
It's very
you.
pretty. And so, what are the services that you offer? Because I know you do the IV hydration. What else do you offer?
So again, we do IV hydration, we do hormone optimization, we do thyroid optimization. We also do some aesthetics. We do Botox and fillers, and
Oh,
we've just recently, within the past couple of months, initiated DPC, which is
oh,
direct primary care. After
wow.
providing care to so many of my hormone replacement therapy patients, they were extremely interested in me becoming their provider. So, with
Yeah.
that, we definitely accepted the challenge, and we've enjoyed it ever since.
Wow, that's awesome. I think it's great the direct provider care. I feel that that's a way of the future. I feel like healthcare is going to kind of move more towards that. Like you said, I think people are starting to recognize the importance of focusing on their wellness. Um, es-
Absolutely.
yeah, especially with that optimization of like the hormones and just the supplements.
And we
Um,
even have patients that have, you know, amazing insurance through their companies. However, they still decide to come here for their direct primary care services. And it's an honor to have, patients even consider us to provide that type of care.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think especially as females to find a good provider who actually listens, and that can actually look at us holistically, taking everything into consideration. I think we'll start to really prevent a lot of these diseases that we're seeing.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yes. And so when you do have your patients with the direct provider care, what else are you offering for them? Are you doing like just their annuals? What does that look like?
So we offer their annuals. We also offer their initial annual lab work. So we get, the full clinical picture of the patient. And then also we provide the option for them to add family members. So if it's your children,
Oh,
if it's your spouse, and to add an additional line of flexibility, we also do virtual appointments because, life doesn't always allow you to make it into the office. So we do that as well for our patients.
oh, that's wonderful. That's really great. And for your patients that you see annually, are you seeing a growth in that area? Is it more women, more men? What is that population looking
I
like?
would say it's mixed. We do have some
Really?
families on board. Absolutely, we do have a few women that they started with us with the DPC, and then they were able to get their husbands on board, and then they even brought their children on board. So we do have definitely mixed patient population here at this time.
Wow, that's really wonderful. I think it's so great too to get the children involved. Children are doing so much these days. They got sports, homework, after school events. We really do need to optimize their health and wellness too, and especially nutritionally because they don't want to eat. I know my kids are picky eaters. I mean, one day they'll eat a banana. Next week they don't want no bananas, and so trying to get them nutritionally where they need to be is hard.
Absolutely. It's a challenge, but we work together to try to figure out how we can definitely better families as a whole. So if that's diet, if that's wellness, all of those things, we are always willing to help.
Yes, that's so awesome. We have some comments from our audience. We have a heart from Jay. Hey, Jay. How are you? He also says phenomenal platform and great and valuable information. And then we have someone also wrote, feeling heard and seen by your provider is so important. Amazing. Yes,
Oh,
I think that's so important and valuable. I feel that it's great to have a provider like yourself who actually listens and takes the time to know the patient and truly create a customized plan for them. I think that's really wonderful.
yeah, I absolutely agree. That makes all the difference.
It does. It really does. And so, for those patients that will come to you, you said that you offer through medical insurance, or is this self pay? How do people get set up with you as your GPC?
So all of our service is cash pay. We don't really utilize insurance unless, excuse me, you have insurance and you want to submit some different labs through your insurance. We definitely do that. But we found a lot of different roadblocks, especially when it comes to hormone replacement and
Yeah,
women. And even men as well, because they feel like once you get to a certain number, and when I say they, I mean insurance companies,
yeah,
that you should be feeling well. However, that's not always the case. So we
right.
like to basically guide the care with our patients and let the patient be the driver. And we definitely monitor the patients and provide safe care at the same time. But it's a cash pay.
Yes. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. And, I feel like I hope in the future healthcare insurances will take care of these things
Mm,
because I'm a believer like you. I believe in wellness and promoting
mhm.
wellness and keeping people from getting sick. And so I hope
Absolutely.
definitely, yeah, absolutely. I hope in the future, that all of these services and these treatments that you guys are offering can be covered and, more mainstream, because it really is needed. I feel like a lot of the diseases and even just people not having the capability to manage stress, it could be because your cortisol levels are out, of whack.
Absolutely.
So yeah, like people be like, oh, they're so frazzled. And it's like, well, you're in like adrenal fatigue. Your cortisol levels are at max. So
Absolutely.
your body needs a reset. But you can't go to like a primary care and say, hey, my cortisol and I'm in adrenal fatigue,
Right.
so we really need these wellness providers like you to be able to help us manage those things.
Thank you.
Yes. So we're going to take our second break of the evening, but stay tuned for more Pink Table Talk with the wonderful Paulette Senegal.
Tune into Legal Treats with attorney Eileen Legoat Dizon
every Friday at 7 p.m. Central Time.
Get your weekly dose of legal knowledge, especially on family matters like divorce, child custody, child support, estate planning, probate and immigration.
Engage in discussions by posting your questions, comments, greetings, or shoutouts.
See you every Friday at 7 p.m. Central Time. That would be Saturday at 9 a.m. Philippines. Don't miss out.
Welcome back to Pink Table Talk. I'm your host, Dr. Carly D. The show is produced by Lawin Media Network, and we're available live every Wednesday, either through our YouTube channel or our Facebook Live page. And if you don't catch us live, you can catch us on over 18 different podcast platforms, including Apple, Amazon, Spotify, and Google. So tonight we're having an interesting discussion on health, wellness, and beauty with the wonderful Paulette Senegal, who is the owner of True Luxe Med Spa here in Houston, Texas, where you can go and receive holistic health services, also beauty treatments. And she also does provide direct provider care if you are looking for a primary care provider who will take a holistic approach to your health. So before our break, we started talking about hormonal imbalances. We have a question from one of our audience members.
Okay.
She asked, do men also experience or have hormonal imbalances?
Absolutely. Men, they do also experience hormonal imbalance. I would say the difference between men and women is that when men go into a primary care setting and they express or share what some of the symptoms that they're having, those primary care providers are a lot more comfortable with providing testosterone. They know right off, hey, this patient could be experiencing, a hormonal imbalance. And so my goal here is to ensure that everyone, not only men, but also women, have a equal opportunity for hormone balance.
Wow, that's wonderful. Yes, it's a good question, because I think a lot of people we associate hormones and hormone imbalance with women only. We're always
Mhm.
calling women, we're hormonal, we have our
Yes,
menstrual and things like that.
absolutely.
But yeah, but men can also experience that too and have like those low T
Absolutely.
levels. Yeah, so
And
that's
things that,
awesome.
men may notice is that, they get that extra weight around the belly area and feeling fatigue and all of those things. And sometimes low libido can also be one of the symptoms that they experience. So yes, absolutely. Men do also have hormonal imbalance.
Wow, that's good to know that you guys also look into that. And right now, this is, time of year, everybody's going to be eating unhealthy. It's the holidays. Everybody's going to be eating all the good food and
Right.
drinking, So what can people do after the holidays to recover and to start feeling good? And, we got the new year, new me. Everybody's going to
Right.
be going back to the gym. So what are some things people can do to stay healthy and or get back into being healthy during and after the holidays?
Absolutely. So I do recommend that, And I won't even recommend like hard workouts. Just get out and walk. If it's with a
Yeah.
loved one, a family member, a friend, get out and have some physical activity. Walk about 3 to 4 times a week, just starting. And then if you want to transition into like a more of a gym workout, you can do that as well. Stay hydrated with water, drink at least 80 ounces of water a day.
Oh boy, yeah, that's my problem. Oh, I hate drinking water. I gotta
That
drink
is
more though.
so common. It's so common. And then also making sure that you have healthy protein options, making
Oh,
sure you have a balanced diet. I have some patients that do say, I have lots of protein. And when we discuss the protein, it's like, okay, well, maybe not the fried chicken or maybe not the deep fried bit. Let's do a grilled, chicken breast, or if you
yeah,
want a leg, let it, let's grill it or put it in the air fryer. So healthy
yeah,
protein options are very, very important. And
yeah.
also having, a balanced serving of veggies as well. That's also important.
Yes, no, that's so true. That's so funny, and it's important, I think people do. I like how you said do a slow approach to the workout. Yeah, because I feel like especially this time of year, everybody like January 1st, everybody's trying to hit hard, get in the gym, work out like an hour and a half, and they want to start lifting weights.
So if you
They
didn't
want
work out an hour the year before, don't start
yeah.
off doing it because it's discouraging. When you go, and I've had
Yes.
that before, going into the gym and feeling like I didn't look like the person next to me, or
Yeah.
let's start low and slow and then work our way up.
Yeah, because I feel like that's what you see. Like my friend, she's a lifetime gym person. She goes every day at 4 a.m. And she's like, oh, January 1st. Yeah, she's like, she hates January because you got everybody coming in. And she's like, she sees them, but then by the end of the month, they're gone.
Yes, the
Yeah,
new gym memberships.
the memberships, we're about to see all the sales and, zero down is about to be advertised. But yeah, I think it's not a good habit to start to just only want to go in January and you hit so hard and then you fall off,
You
you
fall off.
know?
I always say
Yeah.
start realistic, and that way you can end
Yes.
realistic. Yep,
Yes, yeah, because it's so true. Because like I said, January 1st, everybody will be in there, and then it's that's it. We're
it's
done by
gone.
Valentine's. Yeah, by Valentine's, everybody's back to eating chocolate and laying up, and so it's a crazy trend. But definitely, we got New Year's coming up. People are going to be, having their drinks.
Of
So what
course.
can they do to recover? What kind of IV hydration solutions can you offer
So
for
my
that hangover?
favorite, yes, for the hangover, it's called the night after.
Oh, okay. I like that. That's a good name.
So the night after, so we definitely provide that. It has magnesium in it. We use a little bit of Toradol, and all of those things will help with the hangover headache. It will help with your recovery, and also provide some hydration. Yes, that's a
Okay,
New
everybody,
Year's
y'all heard
resolution.
that. Yes, go and get your night after because we all know everybody's gonna party hard for the holidays and have their New Year's. So that's really
And I
funny.
also have some patients, they call it their pregame. So they'll come in for hydration services prior to. If they know that they are going to indulge a little bit, then they do it prior to, and they said their recovery is not as, awful as it would have been without. So that's an option as well.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. I think it's so nice. I started realizing the benefits of like IV hydration actually after I was hospitalized when I had my children because
Mhm.
like I said, I don't like drinking a lot of water.
Right.
Yeah, my friends, they've even bought me those big gallon things where it's like, okay, halfway through the day, you got to get through it. And I'll be looking at that thing like, okay, let me have my little sip.
Right.
But after I had my daughter and I was in the hospital and they had me on like IV fluids and I was like,
Mhm.
oh, I feel pretty good. Like I felt great, and I had all this energy and I was like,
Mhm.
we need this. Like we really
Absolutely.
do. Yes.
Absolutely. And so initially for me, There was a lot of like the IV hydration hype, but for like me, everything that I provide here in my office space, I've tried it, and I use it all
Yeah.
the time. I wanted to make sure that I can speak to what I've experienced with it, and that, to also share the benefits of it, and also believing in our services. So that makes a difference as well.
Yes, and I think it's good, and I like that, you offer those services because I feel like we don't get enough orally, and then I feel like our bodies are dehydrated,
I
and
get.
yeah, yeah, definitely, especially with the low energy, and
Mhm.
yeah, so I
It
think
makes
it's
all the
wonderful.
difference.
Yeah, it makes such a difference,
Mhm.
um, so we've have a lot of trends now with these weight loss injectables and things like that. Do you offer those services, and what are your thoughts on those weight loss injectables?
I'm glad you brought that up. I was actually just thinking about that, but we do provide weight loss services as well. I think that the GLP-1s or the semaglutides and the Ozempics, that they do definitely benefit the patient who is overweight. Um,
Hmm.
but what I've learned recently is that there are a lot of patients that go online and they go through a quick service to get the medications, but there's no service or guidance with those medications. So here we do
Mm,
provide those medications. We do provide like meal prep options, or like speaking them through like how much protein you should have a day, how many carbs you should have a day. We do speak them through exercise regimens. So we provide like this whole package and experience for those
yeah,
patients who
yeah.
definitely would benefit from weight loss services.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yes, I mean, it's a big trend right now. I know I've been hearing about it for at least a year or two. And I do know people, yeah, who have followed it. But I was still just kind of not, sure of how healthy it is for someone to use those products. How much weight can a person expect to lose with one of those plans?
So I've had patients who've lost about up to 80 pounds with the medication in our
Wow.
services.
Wow.
This particular patient was extremely focused, did the meal planning with us. She worked out and she lost 80 pounds with us. So just depending on what you put into, the weight loss services and the options that we provide, you can definitely lose a lot of weight safely and slowly with us. Some patients are like, we want the weight loss now. And I have to remind them, you didn't gain the weight in one day, right? So it's a
Yes.
process, and I want to make sure you maintain healthy muscle mass. I want to make sure that
Yes.
you're obtaining, the appropriate amount of protein for your body weight, and we definitely provide monitoring service as well.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, I feel like this time of year too, people are going to be looking into, more weight loss. So they can definitely go to you and receive those
Mhm.
services. So that's nice. And I would feel comfortable because you actually look at the whole picture.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah, we have a comment from our audience member here. She asks, would you recommend one meal a day for losing weight naturally? Ooh, I'm
I
gonna
would
let
say
you tackle that.
absolutely not.
That's what I was gonna say. Oh
Initially,
my goodness.
before I started focusing on, wellness and exercise and things like that, I was in the mindset of like, low amount of calories, one meal a day. However, what I learned with my husband, who is a certified nutrition coach, he put me on 4 to 6 meals a day, and so that included
Oh my
snacks.
gosh.
I mean, it was very intense, and we dialed
Yes.
down to my macros, how much protein I needed, how many carbs I needed, and I was on 4 to 6 meals a day. And again, that was including like 1 to 2 protein shakes. That was also including, a healthy snack. And you don't want to affect your natural metabolism, right? So when you eat one meal a day, your body is kind of like in shutdown mode and wants to
Yes.
preserve those calories for energy and all of those things that the body needs, to do with those calories. So I would say just get with someone who can provide you with an amazing meal plan according to your body weight and what your goals are.
Yes. And it's interesting, with the 4 to 6 meals a day. For some people that could be hard to do, especially a lot of meal prep. But you guys offer some good meal prep plans and things.
So what we would do, my husband and I, we would definitely meal prep twice a week. We would do it on a
Wow.
Sunday or Tuesday or Wednesday, to make sure
Oh,
our
that's
food
not
is
bad.
fresh. And we would just prep everything and stack it in the fridge. So, when Monday, came around, we pull out meals for the day, have our protein ready. And I would say it made all the difference in the way I felt. And, I felt amazing. We were working out, and I had a lot of success with not only weight loss, but I was trying to, build a little muscle and tone at the same time. So I had really good results when it came to that as well.
Oh, that's great. I always wanted to know, I was always curious, for the person that has had weight loss surgery and they have like smaller stomach, would you
Mhm.
also recommend those 4 to 6 meals per day for people with smaller stomachs or surgically altered stomachs?
Absolutely. I would recommend that. We would tailor your meals to what you can take as far as like the volume, and try to like
Mhm.
pack in as much protein strategically, to make sure you're hitting those protein counts for the day.
Wow, that's good. That's good to know because I always wondered that because I know that they have some issues with eating throughout the day. So
Yes,
thank you for that.
absolutely.
So we're going to take our last commercial break of the evening, but everybody stay tuned for more Pink Table Talk with Paulette Senegal.
Join us for a captivating new series where Lawin sits down with the trailblazers of the music and entertainment world. Discover the stories behind the faces and voices that shape our culture and community.
We will bring you exclusive interviews with industry legends and rising stars. Behind the scenes insights and get a peek into the creative processes and personal journeys. Artists and performers and their upcoming shows and events.
Stay tuned for more updates and sneak peeks. Follow us on social media and subscribe to our channel.
Beyond Health and Wellness Dr. Rich and Nurse MJ. Let's explore the journey to holistic well-being. Listen to insights that inspire a healthier, happier life. Uncover. Empower yourself. Take charge of your well-being. Whether you're looking for tips on nutrition, mental health, or fitness, this show is for you. Beyond Health and Wellness. Every Friday 8 p.m. Central Time, that's Saturday 10 a.m. Philippines.
Welcome back, everybody, to Pink Table Talk. I'm your host, Dr. Carly D. We've been having a very informative discussion tonight with Paulette Senegal, the owner of True Luxe Med Spa, where she offers a variety of wellness and beauty services. So be sure to check out her website and look into getting some of her services, especially with the upcoming new year, so you can be fit, fabulous, and healthy and beautiful. Before we went on break, we talked about meal prep, and we have a couple of comments and questions from our audience members. Jay Senegal says 4 to 6 meals most of the time will also include 2 small snacks or even a protein shake. Yeah, I think that's great, especially like, we were talking about the people with the altered, stomachs. The protein shake will help as well. So they get their protein intake and doesn't cause too much gastric fullness for them. And then we have another one. Someone asked, I hope you have a website where you can share your meal prep for a week or two. Yeah. Do you guys offer meal prep on your website?
So what we do is, if you come in for your weight loss consultation, we put together something for each patient specifically, depending on your height and weight, your BMI, what your goals are, what your diet consists of, will definitely determine what your meal plan looks like. For example, I had a lady who was a strict vegan. And
Oh,
so we had to definitely dive into different options for her. and just to determine, what would be appropriate for her. And again, to make sure we get in those healthy calories and also protein. So each patient is different. Once you do come in for your consultation, we can definitely provide a couple of options for you.
That's awesome. That's really wonderful. Kennedy Sine says she loves hearing this information, very useful, and she will be looking into IV therapy. Yeah, I agree. I think it's wonderful. Yeah, it's really good and healthy for people.
Absolutely. There's so many different benefits, so many different options, whether it's weight loss, recovery, athletic recovery. There's so many different things that we can definitely put together for each patient.
Oh, so do you offer like a customized IV solution per patient? Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. So we do have like a sports and recovery drip. So we have a lot of
Oh,
patients who are into like bodybuilding, and so they work out extremely hard. So we definitely provide options to help them with their recovery. We do have a different drips available for patients who are, if they are going through the weight loss process. We do have different supplements that we do recommend as far as IV hydration. We have beauty drips, so it includes things like biotin and glutathione. We have immunity drips, so this time of year we do a lot of
yes.
those. So that includes, the glutathiones and things of that sort. So lots of different options. And if there is something that you definitely want that's more specific, we can definitely put something together for you.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really awesome. I think it's so wonderful that you guys provide this service. I need to go. I know. I'm feeling under the weather. I've been dealing with this respiratory infection 2 weeks now, and I need to get in and get some IV
Yeah.
hydration to get
The
recuperate.
Myers cocktail would be perfect. So again, we do a lot of those right now during this season. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's so wonderful. It's been so wonderful talking with you. You guys, do you have an IG page? Can we show that here?
Absolutely. So on IG, you can follow us at Trulux Med Spa. We definitely try to post different things throughout the season. Um, whenever there's like teacher appreciation or law enforcement day, or if it's like different things that we can help with the community, right? We offer different services at a reduced price for those types of professions. We also like to put out information about different like health fairs that we put on. We also have in the spring, early spring, we like to put on like a patient appreciation. And even if you're not a current patient of ours, we love you to stop by and just look at different things that we have here, because we also invite other small businesses in our areas to come out as well. And they provide little grab bags and things of that sort. So it's always a lot of fun and lots to learn about.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And everybody out there, yes, definitely check out True Lux Med Spa and Wellness, whether you're looking for your own direct provider or just some IV hydration, some beauty treatments, weight loss. She offers it all. We have another comment from our audience member, Soraya Leray. She says, IV hydration has been life for me. Such a great service at Trulux. That's awesome.
That's
Yes.
awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, so everybody definitely check out Trulux Med Spa. Like I said, we got the holidays and the new year coming. So get that new year, new me. um,
Absolutely.
but do it the right way, go and get a whole workup, get your labs drawn, and let's optimize your health and your beauty so that you're not only looking good, but you're going to be feeling good for this upcoming new year. It's been, yes, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure talking with you, Paulette. I'm so happy I finally got to get you on my show. And I'm just so happy with all the wonderful things that you're doing, especially for the health and wellness of our community. I applaud you, and you're just doing such a great job.
I appreciate the time and the opportunity to also discuss the services that we provide here. So thank you so much, Dr. D.
I appreciate it. And we have one last comment from Mr. J. Great seeing you, Dr. Carly. It's good seeing you too, Jay. And I know you got your upcoming commencement, so I'm looking forward to watching you walk across the stage. So I'm so happy to have you guys watching us tonight and here on the show. Thank you so much again, Paulette. I appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
And thank you, everybody, for watching us tonight on Pink Table Talk. You can catch us every Wednesdays live at 7 p.m. Central or 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And if you don't catch us live, you can catch us on one of our 18 different podcast platforms. But be sure to watch us live so you can talk to our guests, ask questions, or even just to make comments. So thank you all again for watching us, and I hope you all have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.
Bye.